Good evening, everybody. It is Steve Lichtner with Agenda Free TV 2. If you're watching on YouTube, it's Agenda Free TV 2. If you're watching on the other platforms, it's Agenda Free TV. Hello, how are you? I just realized there's a light on here that's not supposed to be on. So I need to turn that light off, which I'm going to do in 2 seconds. But thank you for joining us. We are going to do some live. Good evening, everybody. You're going to hear two of me. Steve Lichtner with Agenda Free TV. Where's that? Oh, that's coming from here. Okay. We're going to be doing some live news coverage, U.S. and world stories, and we're going to be taking your comments and questions on the air. You can give me a shout during the broadcast at Lichtner on Twitter is where you can reach me at Lichtner on Twitter. And thanks so much to all of our moderators for being there. We got a bunch of moderators there. Thank you, mods, in all our platforms. And I want to start by talking about there is a tornado warning in Mississippi. Let's talk about that really quickly. Hold on. I need to just turn off one light. It'll take me 3 seconds. 3 seconds. Hold on. See, it really was 3 seconds. It was really 3 seconds. Okay, so there is one tornado warning going on in Mississippi. So I'll keep an eye on this. I am looking at the radar. I am not seeing, this is Mississippi. Where in Mississippi is it? Trying to zoom out a little bit. There we go. It is kind of central Mississippi, it looks like. North of Meridian. Is it still there? Yeah, so if we zoom in here on radar scope, so on the right, we'd be looking for a couplet. So on the right, that's the velocity radar. We are looking for, see if that was like red. You're looking for like red and green or red and bright green or bright red and bright blue next to each other. So you're not seeing that. So my guess is that this area there is probably what they're worried about. But there could be a tornado at the moment, but I was just looking to see any of the telltale signs of major tornado. So I don't know what's going on there. But that's one tornado warning. There's a tornado watch for a bunch of places in the south tonight. Let me just check out the tornado watch. I'll show you what the deal with that is. Tornado watches and warnings. See the yellow? I think that's a tornado watch. Yeah, I gotta go to the here. Why is it not listed there? Here, tornado watch. Tornado watch. See? Oops, you can't see. Now you can see. Tornado watch. Expires at 7 o'clock UTC. UTC now is what? All right, so this tornado watch expires in 5 hours and 19 minutes. It's this one. Where is it? What did I do now? What did I do now? Now I have to go back and get the watch again. I'm messing everything up. Here it is. Tornado watch number 3. There it is. It says tornado watch for portions of western and northern Alabama, east central and northeastern Mississippi, much of southern middle Tennessee. It goes until 1 a.m. Central Time. Primary threats include a few tornadoes possible, scattered damaging wind gusts to 70 miles an hour possible, isolated large hail events to 1.5 inches in diameter possible. Okay. So, possible tornadoes in that area tonight. I'll keep an eye on it. But that is going on. So we'll keep an eye on that. What is the threat level? Shadow Rider says. Well, I'm not a. Oh, actually, hold on a second. Reed Timmer says likely tornado in eastern Winston County, Mississippi. Now, what's he talking about? Let's see. He's got to be talking about what we're looking at here. Where is he? Is he looking at the debris signature? I think he's talking about right in here. Is there a debris ball there? Let's see. Correlation coefficient. Yeah, I think. What is he looking at? Hang on. Super res reflectivity. So this is the rain. On the left is the rain radar, and on the right is the velocity radar. And I don't know. I think you'd be looking. You're looking for a hook shape, which is sort of is here, but there's no. What you're waiting to see on this side is like bright a couplet, red and green, red and blue, or red and green next to each other. So you're not really seeing that at the moment. Oh, there's 2 tornado warnings. Hold on. Ooh, there. All right. So they extended the first one. That's what they did. They have extended the first tornado warning. It's this area in here they're worried about. Andrew says Mississippi State University is there. Macon, is that Georgia? Hold on, now I'm confused. Where is this tornado warning? This is Mississippi. This isn't Georgia. That's all Mississippi. The new one. Anyways, I'll keep an eye on it. I think, is there a little red peeking out on the right there? Ooh, see? I think Reed Timmer's talking about this. See, you're starting to see a little red right here. Red next to the blue. Right here. I think he's talking about this. So on the right is the velocity radar, and this tells you how fast the wind is going. What you're looking for is really fast wind going opposite directions right next to each other. So green means going, I think green means going towards the radar, and red means green and blue means going toward the radar, and red means going away from the radar. So if you see bright red and bright green, or bright red and bright blue next to each other, you have really fast winds going in opposite direction right next to each other, which would be what you would have if you have circulation, like a tornado. So I think maybe he's talking about how you see this red here. He said it right here. He said likely tornado in eastern Winston County, Mississippi, due north of Vernon is racing east northeast of 55 knots. So that's what I think he is referring to. I mean, we're looking right at this area, so. But again, it's not. I'm not seeing. I'll keep an eye on it. But what you really you don't want to see like a big. If you saw like a big red spot right here, that would be really bad. So I'll keep an eye on it. I will keep an eye on it. Okay. In terms of what is the. Somebody said, what is the tornado threat on 1 to 10? I'm not a meteorologist, but it's not like we've had meteorologists saying there's going to be the tornado watch says a few tornadoes possible. It's not being called like a tornado outbreak. Okay. Hey, thanks, by the way, to Belugan. Belugan, I don't believe it's ever been revealed why Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch. I don't know. I don't think that's ever been revealed, as far as I'm aware. Hello, old Raj. Hey, you can write to me on Twitter, @Lookner is where you can reach me. Kari Marsden says, big snowstorm in Iowa, 12 inches around Des Moines. I want to talk about what happened in Portland. Sue says, is tornado out of season or is it usual this time of year? Tornado season. I don't think now is tornado season. Tornado season. Severe one NSSL. Tornado season usually refers to the peak time of year the U.S. sees the most tornadoes. The peak tornado season for the southern plains, Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas, is from May to early June. On the Gulf Coast is earlier in the spring. In the northern plains and upper Midwest, tornado season is in June or July. But tornadoes can happen at any time of year. That's from NOAA, NOAA. Wasteland Warrior says, what happened to the other channel? Nothing happened to the other channel. Again, I always get asked this multiple times on the streams, so I will repeat again. There are 2 YouTube news channels. There are 2 YouTube news channels. Why is the thumbnail not showing up for this? It was showing up before. I might have to replace it again. If you want to know what the deal is with why there are 2 new YouTube news channels, go to Agenda Free TV. There's a whole hour-long video about it. Look, go to Agenda Free TV, look up channel. You'll see introducing Agenda Free TV 2, second channel, more coverage. It's a whole hour-long video explaining why there are 2 channels. So there are 2 YouTube channels, Agenda Free TV and Agenda Free TV 2. Just be aware of that. I need to, hang on one second. I think I need to replace the thumbnail for this broadcast. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I loaded the thumbnail for this broadcast, and now the thumbnail's not there, so I got to load it again. All right, hang on one second here. Let me just get this thumbnail fixed. It was there before. Where is it here? Let's see. Where did it go? Where did it go? I think that's it. That looks good. Should work. Okay. Give me a shout at Lookner on Twitter if you have comments. Okay, that updated. That updated. Wonderful. Lynn Downey sent me a video from the snowstorm in Iowa. Look, our viewer Lynn sent a video in. Thank you, Lynn. It's very different than here. I'm in Orlando, Florida. It's like 75 degrees. Stay safe, Lynn. All right, I want to talk about Portland. Let's talk about Portland. Hang on one second. Let me just make sure the chat rooms are open here. Okay, that's good. Good. We're there. We're good. We're all good. We are all good. So there's this thing that happened in Portland, which is somebody hit a bunch of people with their car, and one person died. Driver kills one, injures 5 other pedestrians in Southeast Portland, police say. Now, there's some reporting that suggests maybe this person did this intentionally. that doesn't mean it's terrorism. I mean, I haven't heard that. So I'm wondering if maybe somebody has had a mental episode or something. Because no one has said right now that they think this is something terrorist in nature. So I'm wondering if it's just somebody went nuts or something. Or maybe the person driving had mental problems. So the police said, this is from the Portland police. Portland police investigates hit and run with multiple victims, one fatality. One of the pedestrians struck during this incident has died, which is terrible. At 1:02 p.m., officers from the Central Precinct responded to a hit and run to a pedestrian in the area of Southeast 33rd Ave and Southeast Pine Street. As officers were responding, calls came into dispatch regarding additional hit and runs to cars and other pedestrians involving the same suspect vehicle. So the vehicle did not just hit people, it hit cars too. It hit cars and people. The suspect vehicle crashed in the area of Southeast Stark Street and Southeast 18th Avenue. The driver of that vehicle fled on foot. Community members who witnessed the crash corralled the suspect until officers arrived on scene and took him into custody. The suspect is being processed and arrest information will be available at a later time. The crime scene is very large and spans dozens of city blocks. Investigators from the traffic division and detectives are on scene to assist with the investigation. There you go. Original message was on January 25th, around 1:02 p.m., Portland police began receiving calls about a vehicle that struck pedestrians and vehicles along several blocks. So, unfortunately, one person has died. One person has died. And we might have to restart this broadcast. We might have to restart this. Something got messed up. I'm gonna have to restart this because for some reason the stream got quote unquote hidden. So if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on another platform, you're fine. If you're watching this on YouTube, just to go over this again, the YouTube has a broken system. During the pandemic, they have an automated system that's supposed to, if there's a live stream doing something really bad, like, making terrorist threats or something, they flag it and then a human looks at it. It takes like 24 hours for a human to look at it, and during the time it's flagged, it doesn't come up in search and it doesn't show up in people's subscriptions feeds. And the system is broken, and what's happening is it just flags all kinds of live streams that aren't doing anything wrong, and every time this happens to me, it always gets unflagged and unhidden, but it's like 24 hours later. So while it's on the air live, no one can find it because you can't search for it, and it doesn't come up in subscriber subscriptions feeds. So that is why what I'm going to do right now is, and I just checked my subscriptions, and it's not showing up. I'll check it one more time. Let me see. Let me check. But I just checked and it wasn't showing up. Oh, it's there. It is there. Okay. It is there. Okay. It is there. I just saw it there. Okay, so we're good right now. So we're not going to have to restart on YouTube. Okay. I checked. I didn't see it, but I do see it now. Okay, so it's there. So false alarm. But thank you for letting me know when it happens. So hopefully it doesn't happen. All right, so forget it. We're staying. Everybody who's watching can keep watching on this stream. So thank you, Nicole Wilson. Thank you, Nicole. I appreciate that. So, again, you have this incident where one car today in Portland hit a number of people and cars. I have not heard I haven't heard anything about who this person was who did this and why this might have happened. But no one seems to be saying they think it's some kind of terrorist act. I've heard no reporting saying that. So here's an update from Oregon Live. Driver kills one, injures 5 other pedestrians in southeast Portland. A driver struck and killed one person and injured at least 5 others over a 20-block stretch of southeast Portland before crashing and fleeing. The person is now in custody, by the way. Okay, it was a Honda Element, a silver Honda Element, which was hitting other cars and pedestrians. I wonder if the person was drunk or something. We covered about a year ago, we covered something, I think it was in Louisiana, maybe it was in New Orleans. And it was a car that just hit a bunch of cars, I think. I don't know if it hit any people, but it was just out of control. And I think that in that case, the person might have been under the influence. I don't know about this. Let's see here. The suspect, according to police, crashed the car and ran and was stopped by several community members who saw him try to flee the scene. A woman in her 70s died. That's the woman. Wow. One victim, a woman in her 70s, just terrible, was taken to Oregon Health and Science University in critical condition, hospital in critical condition. She later died. According to a witness, Larry Wolf, the woman had come to meet him for an appointment on a street corner when he saw her get hit by the car and scream. Wolf said he walked toward her, then saw the car come back and hit her again. The car then did a U-turn and then went to 19th after Stark Street. So that makes it sound like maybe the person was trying to hit people. Again, I have heard no reporting yet that this is some kind of terrorist attack. So, I'm going to assume for the moment maybe it's somebody having a psychotic episode or something. Okay. Cody Warnes, an employee at a nearby business, said he saw a heavily dented Honda Element driving eastbound on Belmont Street. The car turned left into oncoming traffic on 30th, then hit a cyclist on the corner. Then this other witness said, David Jacobo said he saw the Honda Element driving down the hill. It took a right, speeding up and hitting a woman who was crossing the street. He said the license plate flew off the car, allowing him to report the incident. So this is just crazy, terrible. But we don't know, they have not identified who the person is in custody. I have not seen any reporting yet or anything from the police on who the person is in custody and what the deal with this whole thing is. Right, now Too Much Hurt said the person could have had a medical episode. That's certainly true. The thing is, though, you're seeing there's like a witness who says that it seems like the person was intentionally trying to hit people. Dawn says, I wonder if driver of car knew her. I don't know. I mean, the person hit a bunch of people. One of our viewers says, sounds drunk. But it's just weird. It's like there's been really no information on who the person is, and did they pass a sobriety test? Here's this KATU article. Driver kills pedestrian, injures several others. Anything about the person? Portland police said they also believe there may be other people who were injured, but that did not need to go to the hospital. Investigators have not released the suspect's name, any possible charges, or details that could speak to a possible motive. Nothing. KATU News spoke with one neighbor who rushed out to help when he heard screaming. People were cutting off her coat, and she said that the gentleman who had hit her had tried to hit her a second time, said Charles Kuziuk. That was the first time I heard that and thought this was intentional thing. She seemed shaken from the idea that someone was trying to hurt her. Aggie said, I thought it was medical until the getting out and running away. Stephanie Fontenot says, I live in Portland. This is my first time hearing this. Yeah, so I mean, I'm just waiting to hear more about the suspect. There's just nothing on the. I mean, this happened at, about 5 hours ago. So I'm keeping an eye out on any updates about who this person was who did this and what possible motive they might have had. Hang on, I'm just checking a couple other things here. But, if you want to watch it, by the way, KATU says neighbors corral the hit-and-run suspect in a string of crashes. Where's the person? It's kind of hard to see. I'm just seeing, that's the person. Where are they? Is it this person here? It says Melissa Solorio. It's kind of hard to see. I think it's this person. There's a bit of a jump cut in here. It was like a person with red pants. It's kind of hard to see. Anyways, if you want to watch this in more detail, go to KATU News. KATU News. It's kind of hard to make out what exactly is going on there. I can't get a good... Do you hear anything? No. Anyways, yeah, it's hard for me to really make out much in that video. It's kind of small, so. Go to KATU News. Susie Q says, I would think videos will come out from security cameras and whatnot. It's weird. It's a story it's not really being covered that much. I mean, of course, if it's intentional, an intentional car ramming seems like it's a big story. I mean, well, it depends. If it's just obviously, if it's some kind of terrorist thing, it's an enormous story. Nobody's reporting that yet. So, but still, it seems pretty bad. Let me know your thoughts at Lookner. Dogs rule, cats drool says maybe medical issue. Ellie Bourne does not think it was terrorism. Thought it was some nut. Hang on a second here. Inside Out Boy says, if someone runs away, it says a lot. Ellie Bourne says, I'm going to guess Tacoma copycat. I mean, there was the incident in Tacoma we covered where a police car, ran into a group of people. But I didn't immediately think Tacoma copycat. Let's see here. Kimberly Peterson says, prayers to her family. Yeah, condolences to the family of the woman that died. She died. Hey, thank you to everybody who's moderating. I appreciate that. We got Sarah55 and Angel Shark are moderating in our YouTube chat. And Sarah Joy, thank you. Also, Misha is moderating in our Periscope chat. Thank you, Misha. I appreciate that. Thank you to our Facebook moderators. Roxanne Becky, Dan Lindquist, Kimberly Peterson, thank you. And also our Twitch mods. Daily Disclosure, Idaho Star, Maddie Maggs, and Tariag, thank you. All right, so I'll keep an eye out for updates on that story. It's concerning. Oh, another tornado warning still going on. Let's check out the tornado situation. There's one tornado warning in Mississippi right now. How does it look? Ooh, this is looking not great. Yeah, so check this out. This is in Mississippi. This isn't good. You don't want to see, look, what you're seeing here is, why is it like this? It's kind of, so this right here, see the red and the green and the blue? You don't want to see red and green and blue next to each other because that represents winds going in different directions right next to each other, which is what you'd expect if you had circulation like a tornado. So I'm guessing this is I'm seeing that red pop up there. That's not good. See the red kind of pop up next to the green? I would not be surprised if this is a tornado. I don't know. But that's the kind of that's the velocity radar on the right. That's what you're looking for there. Let me see if anyone's posting about this. You're also looking for a hook shape on the left, but that can be you're looking for a hook shape on the left. This is the rain precipitation radar. So if there's a tornado, it can bend the rain around in a hook shape. But if there's too much rain, you're not going to see it. Although you are seeing, hang on a second. You are seeing this. See, you're seeing that hook right there. I don't know. That seems like not exactly the right place, though. Anyways, see if anyone's posting about this. This is near Brooksville. Fortunately, there's no town on the map right where this is. Hang on. Well, let me check. Where do I want to go? Here it is. I'll keep an eye out for it. That's concerning. See, this is not, you don't really want to see this. See the red there? That's concerning to me. Oh, and the latest tornado, yeah, sorry. In terms of where this is, Spinks Megidson posted a graphic. We can see it on the map, actually. If we zoom out, see, we're talking about Mississippi on the Alabama border. That's where we're talking about right now. Right there. Alabama, Mississippi. All right. You can write to me on Twitter at Lookner. All right, so we talked about Portland. I also want to mention the first Brazil variant case in the United States. We should discuss that. First case of highly transmissible Brazil corona variant identified in Minnesota. In case you haven't heard that. This is a Washington Post article. Minnesota officials announced they have identified a person infected with a highly transmissible variant of the virus that has been spreading at alarming rates in recent weeks in Brazil. This is the first report in the U.S. of this variant, the P1 variant, which has been of particular concern to scientists as they have observed the disastrous surge in infections in the Brazilian city of Manaus. One research study had estimated that 76% of the Brazilian city of Manaus population had already been infected by the virus. That should have put Manaus close to herd immunity. The new surge in Manaus has raised fears that this new variant has mutations that allow it to evade the human immune system. Evidence to support this hypothesis remains unlimited. So Manaus had already been hit very hard by the virus. And there was one study that estimated that the majority of the people in Manaus had already had the virus by now. But now you're having this huge surge of cases in Manaus. And if it's true, we don't know if it is true, but if it is true that most people have already had the virus, then you'd think, oh, well, they've had it, so they should be immune for at least some period of time after. But a lot of people in Manaus are getting it. So there's this worry that are people in Manaus who already had the virus getting this new variant because this variant can evade the immune system that has been trained by people getting it the first time. So that's this concern. There's a concern is, could it be that if you've already had the virus, it doesn't make you immune to this variant of it? Don't know. The Minnesota case involved a Minnesota resident with recent travel history to Brazil. The person reported feeling sick the first week of January and was tested January 9th. The variant was detected through genomic sequencing of random blood samples as part of a surveillance program. So in Minnesota, they just randomly take people's blood. I guess probably people who've had the virus to see what strain they have, and this one came up. Although scientists know quite a bit about the UK variant, the Brazil variant is probably the one causing the most concern among people watching this, says William Hanage, an epidemiologist at Harvard School of Public Health. It is fair to say the Brazil variant P1 is the object of very, very serious attention and concern among epidemiologists. We don't know why it's been so successful in Manaus. The Brazil and South Africa variants have incited particular concern among scientists because they contain mutations that may allow the virus to evade the effects of some antibodies, such as the monoclonal antibodies developed as therapies for patients with COVID-19, the illness caused by the virus. STP says, are they making vaccines for all the variants? So what they're doing, the scientists are researching whether the current vaccines work on the variants. So that's the first thing. Moderna today said that they have data suggesting that their vaccine works on the, which variants did they say? UK and another, would they say Brazil? I'm not sure. But that's not final data. It's right here. Moderna vaccine appears to work against variants. That's from BBC. Moderna's COVID vaccine appears to work against new, more infectious variants found in the UK and South Africa. Early lab tests suggest antibodies triggered by the vaccine can recognize and fight the new variants. More studies are needed to confirm that this is true for people who've been vaccinated. Craig Carlberg says these variants may not be very deadly, but they are very contagious. Well, the UK one, it's not clear if it's more deadly. The UK government thinks it might be. They suggested some evidence suggested it's 30% more deadly, but we don't know. Why is Brazil more concerning than the South Africa variant? Did it say that in the article? It said here. Oh, the Brazil one is causing the most concern. It sounds like this professor says the Brazil one's causing the most concern because of, again, it's really taken off in this Brazilian city, Manaus, that some data suggests that most people in Manaus should have had it already. If most people have had it already, and that gives you immunity to the virus, then you shouldn't see a big increase in the number of people getting it. But we are seeing a big increase in the number of people getting it in Manaus. So there's this worry that maybe, if you've had it, that doesn't make a difference to this new variant. Also, I would think maybe there's a worry that the vaccine won't work on it. Terry says, so for protection, we need 3 shots now. That hasn't been said yet, but it's interesting. A relative of mine today actually said, she said she was wondering, she had heard something about getting 3 shots. And I said, well, what's the 3rd shot? And she said the one that deals with the variants. So I'm not aware, none of that's been developed right now, I don't believe. And I'm not aware of any kind of program to give people a 3rd shot. I don't know if it would be a 3rd shot or multiple shots. I don't know. McNeo says Moderna says they're planning a 3rd shot as a booster. Here. No, they're testing it. BBC. Moderna is currently testing whether giving a 3rd booster shot might be beneficial. That's different from saying they're working on the 3rd booster shot. Again, BBC says Moderna is currently testing whether giving a 3rd booster shot might be beneficial. The company is also investigating whether redesigning the vaccine to be a better match for the new variants will be beneficial. Thank you, McNeo, for writing in. Joe Knight says the Brazilian president may have overestimated the public exposure percentage. He denied the virus for many months in 2020. Well, I haven't read the study about saying that up to that 75% of people in Manaus maybe there was one study that estimated 75% of people in Manaus had already had the virus. My guess is that that study doesn't rely. The Brazilian president would not be a reliable source. So I'm sure that study is not relying on what Bolsonaro says about how many people have had it in Manaus. Then no one would listen to the study. No one would take the study seriously. My guess is that it has more strong evidence than that. Thank you, Joe, for writing in. Salvatore says, how many years do the vaccines last for? We don't know. We have no idea how long the vaccine immunity lasts for because you just have to wait and see. So the way they test the vaccines, right, the way they test the Pfizer and Moderna, I'm sure the other vaccines too, is you take a bunch of people and you give them all shots, but half of them get the vaccine and half of them get a placebo, which doesn't do anything. Then you see how many of them get sick. And when they tested these vaccines, they found that the people who actually got the shot of the vaccine, way fewer of them actually got sick with COVID than people who hadn't had the vaccine. But what will happen 6 months from now, a year from now? Well, the only way to find out is to watch, is you wait and you see if people get sick. That's what you do. So that's when we'll know. Maybe a year from now, very few people who got vaccinated will be getting sick. Maybe a year from now, it'll catch up and you know, maybe as many people, maybe the vaccinated people got vaccinated after a year will have the same amount of sickness as the people who didn't. So we'll just have to see. Miss Me So Hungry says, yes, it's still an experimental phase. Yeah, Van Spears sent me this. Moderna will launch a trial for a booster shot. But again, that doesn't mean they're trying, as the BBC article said, they're trying multiple approaches. Here, look, Moderna press release. Out of an abundance of caution, Moderna launches clinical program to boost immunity to emerging variants. We are advancing an emerging variant booster candidate against the variant first identified in South Africa into the clinic to determine if it will be more effective to boost titers against this and potentially future variants. So they don't know. Yeah, so we don't know. I mean, they're one of the things they're looking at is a possible third shot. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Doesn't mean it's going to work or it's going to happen. All right, you can give me a shout at Lookner on Twitter. Is where you can reach me. Oh, Kimberly Peterson said Reed Timmer is live. Is he storm chasing Reed Timmer tonight on Facebook? Oops. Reed Timmer, extreme meteorologist. I don't see him live at the moment on Facebook. He was live a little while ago. He's talking about the tornado threat. He's not storm chasing. It looks like he's at home. That's what it looks like. Oh, hold on. We may have to restart this stream. We're going to have to restart this stream on YouTube because the YouTube stream has now been hidden. All right, we got to restart the YouTube stream. We got to restart the YouTube stream again because the YouTube system is broken. It hides streams all the time that aren't doing anything wrong, and then it takes 24 hours to unhide them, and they refuse to fix the system. So if you're watching on YouTube, hang tight on YouTube. I'm gonna end the stream on. By the way, thank you for your support. Thank you, Alex Staines from New Zealand. Thank you, Alex. I really appreciate that, Alex. Thank you. So if you're watching on YouTube, I have to stop the stream and start it again because YouTube does not care about its creators, its live streaming creators, and it refuses to take the most basic steps in the world that could be taken to fix this problem. Okay, so I am just gonna. If you're watching on the other platforms, hang with us. I'm not going anywhere. If you're watching on YouTube, take me about 5 minutes to get the stream going again. So let me end the stream on YouTube, and I'll start it right up again. Give me about 5 minutes, and I'll get it going again. Okay? I'll be back in 5 on YouTube. Everybody else, hang tight, and we'll start it, and we'll keep going.